Hello and welcome to the Normal to Formal podcast, episode number 6. I'm your host, Tia Young. I'm the founder of Tia Young Image and Etiquette. I help my clients learn the soft skills for success through professional development and etiquette training. This podcast is for people that want to increase their social skills and earning potential and grow from normal to formal. These skills will help you get ahead of your competition. The topic for today is distance learning tips for parents. Now that schools have closed for the remainder of the school year due to the coronavirus, we have to become the parent and the teacher. Also, the spouse, the cook, the housekeeper, etc., etc., etc. We're very, very busy these days. My husband Victor and I are parents of 3 daughters. 2 are older and out of the house, but 1 is still at home. She's a senior in high school and getting ready to graduate. We're blessed that she received a 4-year scholarship to attend Ringling College of Art and Design in Sarasota, Florida. She loves art. But she has 1 more month to go before graduation. If there's even going to be an in-person graduation, prom, grad night, and all those fun things that were planned due to the coronavirus. But everything has been postponed or canceled for the class of 2020. But that's another story. Today I want to share a few tips about distance learning for all of the parent teachers out there that you've automatically become. I know firsthand how difficult and challenging it is to be a teacher. It's also a very rewarding job. While on maternity leave as a flight attendant and trainer, the tragedies of 9/11 occurred and my career was put on hold after a voluntary furlough, similar to what's going on right now with the coronavirus. After giving birth to my daughter, Taylor, who is now 18, I wanted to get out of the house after she was about 6 months old. So I started subbing at local schools in Hillsborough County and also Pasco County in Florida. I was also trained to become a certified etiquette consultant in 2002. I was able to teach elementary students and children's etiquette sessions at the same time, and I really loved it. That subbing turned into long-term contracts while a teacher was out for a few months on maternity leave. So I taught on and off for several years before I decided to resign as a flight attendant and stay at home with the family. Then I went ahead and got fully certified as a teacher through the Florida Department of Education. Because I already had a bachelor's degree, I was able to take a teacher certification course through a local college. And once certified, I got my first job as a 2nd grade teacher at a charter school in Tampa. I had my very own students for the first time, and it was so much fun. I found out how difficult it is to plan, encourage, support, nurture, and guide those young minds. I only taught for 1 year before the school was closed. Then I focused entirely on my etiquette business. I realized also how difficult it was to get up early every morning, to stay up late at night grading papers, talk to parents, go to staff meetings, and on and on and on. So that job is very, very difficult. And I want to applaud all the teachers out there who have now had to transition to online teaching. So I understand how hard it is to be a teacher and even harder to be a parent and a teacher right now. I contacted my friend Tanya Shook to get a few talking points from her. She is the secondary academic program coordinator for Pasco County Schools, and that's where I currently live, and my daughter is in high school in a public school here in Pasco County. She mentioned how to work efficiently with different generations, and it reminds me that some parents have students in all different grade levels. If you have 3 or 4 kids, some might be still at home with you, some might be in elementary, middle, or high school, or a combination of all of those. So we have to be able to teach to those different ages and different minds. There are also generation gaps. You know the ones: baby boomers, Generation X, millennials, and Gen Zers. The differences for those age categories: the baby boomers fall in the range of being born 1946, and some say 1943, all the way to 1964. That's the baby boomers. Generation X, born 1965 to 1980. Millennials, my older two daughters are millennials, born between the years of 1981 and 1996, and some say 2000. And then Gen Z, my youngest daughter, born between 1997 to current. Those are the Gen Zers. So we have to respond to them in different ways. I know texting is what they use to communicate instead of picking up the phone to make a phone call. So we have to be aware of how they like to communicate best. The same way for students at home. They learn differently because they're born at a different time. I did a little research and found an article by Jennifer Fabiano about parenting called Navigating Online Learning. And she shared several tips that I would share with you. Here in Pasco County, the schools are closed for the remainder of the school year. Of course, the burden of educating students falls first on teachers to create online classrooms and lessons and activities, but to complete those activities, parental guidance will be necessary. This is a stressful and unpredictable time for everyone, including families, parents, and children. But we can help our children by providing them with the structure and routine and being a positive force in their education. Number 1, limit distraction. A digital quarantine might be necessary to keep your child's attention focused on their schoolwork. You should limit their use on their devices other than what is needed to complete their work until their schoolwork is done. If you choose, you can allow your child to play on a device during a designated break, but make them aware that they only have a limited amount of time until they need to get back to work. For my daughter, a distraction may be her cell phone. It may be a video game. It might be social media with Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat. And also for her, a distraction is drawing and painting because she is an artist. So doodling is one thing that she does, and it might be distracting the time away from her teacher. Number 2, make space for learning. Many adults have a specific area of the home in which they do work, and it's important that you create a similar space for your child. Your children will achieve their best work in a quiet, comfortable, and dedicated space that is strictly devoted to learning. This space should be a different setup than where they normally play games or watch television. My daughter, that's still home, has an art room and a computer room. It's all together. So she's able to go in there and get work done, but it's very distracting because she can also do art. So we have to make sure she's focused and on those Zoom meeting calls with the teacher and logging in, because they can see everything that's being done online, how long you've been online, are you getting your homework turned in, and things like that. Number 3, maintain breaks such as a snack time, also bathroom breaks, or just stretching and getting outside for a moment. Routines and schedules are extremely important for children at school, and this is no different in their at-home school. Children will function best if they maintain their routine as close to normal as possible. Setting alarms similar to those that they would encounter at school can be helpful for keeping them on a schedule. So if they normally got up at 7 a.m. to get up, get dressed, and get to school, try to make it as close as possible to that time. It might be 8 to give them extra time because you don't have to do that travel time to and from school. Now, my daughter's schedule right now is upside down, and I tease her. It's like she'll sleep during the day and take naps, and then it's up during the night to do homework. And I had to make sure I talk with the teachers because I recently realized she hadn't gotten some work turned in and had to contact every teacher Okay, how is Taylor doing right now in your class? And they responded back, oh, she's missing this or missing that. So we took away those extra fun devices, her cell phone, her iWatch, and her iPad, to make sure she focuses on school during the day. And around lunchtime, make sure that you encourage them to get up and get some fresh air, have lunch, go for a walk, maybe a bike ride, just like they would do recess. Now, high school, they normally wouldn't do that unless they had PE, but just kind of breaking that cycle up. Number 4, allow them to interact with friends via video chats. Now, whatever they prefer, that can be Zoom, that can be FaceTime, that can be Skype, whatever they like. And a lot of games nowadays, you might be able to see each other. I'm not sure, but your children are used to lots of social contact at school, so they will definitely feel the effects of being distant from them even after a few days. While it might not be safe for your kids to see their friends in person, you should allow them to interact with them online, beyond social media or text messaging. Video chats are often the closest thing to seeing someone in person and are a great way to get in social time without endangering yourself or others. If your child does not regularly video chat with their friends, you can speak with other parents to set up a video chat play date. Number 5, don't underestimate the power of a schedule. If you and your children are all doing work from home, it's likely that it is the first time that has ever happened. A schedule for your work and your child's work is extremely important. To start, experts recommend keeping them on the same or similar sleeping schedule. Like I mentioned before, my daughter's is upside down right now because she's sleeping during the day and doing her schoolwork at night. But as long as it's getting done, I'm okay with that. If a schedule was not provided by their teachers, help them write one for not only each day, but each week as well. Having a clear vision of what is expected of your child will help them see that just because they are home does not mean they don't have work to do. Experts recommend helping them prioritize and learn to create goals, tasks, and deadlines just like adults do when they go to work. I also want to throw in chores because I know as a parent, I have a lot more work to do at home as far as cooking and cleaning and also being a teacher and a parent at the same time. So our jobs as moms or stay-at-home moms or moms that maybe work part-time, you're going to do a lot more right now from your spouse and from the kids. Number 6, don't let your children treat this as a vacation. Because when my daughter found out that the school year was over, so to speak, at school and it's all going to be virtual, it's like she did a happy dance. It's like, wait, you still have work to do. It's not over now. And we don't want to get lazy or complacent with being at home and not think we still don't have work to do. This time at home might feel like a vacation for your child, but it's important to remind them that their education still comes first. Obligations like class assignments, grades, tests, state exams, SATs, and ACTs aren't going away just because classes have moved online. My daughter has 4 AP classes right now, advanced placement classes right now, and this is her last month of school. She will be graduating from high school. So this time is very, very important for her, even though it's only 1 month left of her high school education. Number 7, remember to schedule time for fun. Fun? What's that? My daughter is normally a stay-at-home type child. She'd rather be in front of the computer or drawing or painting and inside rather than being outside. But while this is the most certainly not a vacation, it's important to have some fun with your children while they're at home. It's rare that you have this much time with your children, so use it as an opportunity to bond. And if you have more than one child, find and create games to play with each other. Even if it's coloring, playing a board game, going back to the good old days. Maybe a puzzle.